Let's begin by considering the difference between a check and an alert. A check is triggered by a modelling error. It tells us that the model is not functioning properly. A good example of a triggered modelling check is a balance sheet that does not balance. It does not matter how much commercial negotiation takes place. A balance sheet that refuses to balance is a modelling issue and for the modeller to resolve. Compare that with an alert. An alert is triggered by a commercial issue. A model may be operating perfectly correctly, notwithstanding the commercial issue. An example here might be a loan covenant that has been breached, or an internal rate of return that falls below a required hurdle rate. To fix a model alert may well require a change to a model input, if indeed anything at all can be done to fix it. We'll use a check worksheet to bring all of our model checks and our alerts together in one place. But having said that, it is also worth placing checks and alerts close by to the thing that they are checking. So for example, a balance sheet check should appear close to the balance sheet on the FinStat sheet being checked. And as with many other aspects of a fast model, we will set up checks close to the ingredients they are checking and link the results of those checks through to a central check sheet. Let's set up a balance check sheet as a placeholder for now on the check worksheet. Type in the label and some units. Note the grey stretch rows defining the start and end of a range of rows. We can insert rows and put in a couple more checks below. Let's say income statement check and cash flow statement check. And there may be others that you want to set up at this point as well. Now, when a check is triggered, it returns the number 1. If I type in a 1 in my first check and recalculate the worksheet, you can see that my total checks is triggered. Let's take a look at the formula that drives my total checks. It is a sum formula adding up all the individual checks that sit in between the stretch rows. If I hack in a 1 in the other two checks, then you'll see my check total adding up to 3. If I delete one of the rows within the stretch rows, then I'm back to 2. And we have seen this expanding, contracting mechanism elsewhere in our modelling. Note that the sum total of error checks also appears above the freeze panes. A link to our calculation of total error checks is set up to appear on every single worksheet, so that wherever we are in the model, a triggered check is immediately obvious. Now let's put the checks back to 0. You'll note the colour changes back to green. If you wish to inspect the conditional formatting, then it is Alt-H-L-R. But if I simply want to use that formatting elsewhere in my model, then all I'm going to do is take a copy of a check cell and use copy-paste special formats. Alt-E-S-T. Note too that when I look at an alert, we've set up the conditional formatting so that it switches between green for no trigger and gold for an alert. Gold indicates that an alert has been triggered, and the reason for gold is because it is an obvious colour. You can't miss that gold. But it is not quite as angry, if you like, or not quite a sign of danger as red for model check would be. Finally, we'll consider how to set up a check on the calculation sheet to which it relates. In this case, the FinStat sheet. The check is looking for balance sheet differences. Note the use of the abs function to return a number ignoring its sign. And this allows us to run a simple test. If the difference is greater than a very small number, that very small number representing a check tolerance, then return a 1. Otherwise, return a 0. We put in a small check tolerance to avoid catching other tiny rounding errors that might arise when Excel calculates to 15 significant places. It is better putting in a tiny error, a tiny check tolerance, than it is trying to say, is the number greater than 0? Once we have the check on the worksheet to which it relates, we can link the result through to the check sheet itself.